Just giving up on Facebook. I'm giving up on women. It's pointless. These women out here are insane.
Robert, the key to happiness is to eliminate all black women from your life. I mean, look at me. No black women in my life. Look how happy I am. I'm happy as a nigga with a new gun.
Hey, yo, what's happening, black men? Y ahí, preto, hermano. You know, one thing that's becoming more apparent to me day by day, week by week, month by month, and year by year, right? So, first of all, when was the last time you brothers saw a black man smile? Keep it a buck. The last time I remember seeing black men really smile was when a nigga bought a new gun. I'm talking all 32 teeth, yo. Now, if you want to keep it on that kind of stuff, right? When the dude get a new gun, he just hit a fresh new lick. He just robbed somebody. You know what I mean? He just slimed his partner out. Oh man. So when you think about in a relationship context, when was the last time you ever watched a black man or saw a black man smile? I'm talking all 32 teeth with a black woman, black man. Keep it a buck. You can lie to me, but you can't lie to yourself. When was the last time you, in the audience, the listener right now, when was the last time you smiled and you were showing all 32 teeth, black men, with a black woman? You know, I would never forget the fact I've heard so many. When I say so many, yo, it's to the point to where I'm thinking guys must be watching my content. The way how I've had guys come up to me and tell me certain things, I'm like, yo, bro, you got to be watching my content. But it's crazy. I don't get that many views. I'm going to keep it a buck. So I'm like, yo, guys can't be watching the content, but they must be out here watching some kind of content. Maybe not my content, but they're watching some kind of content. But I know, listen, I don't do this for the money. I do it because I really care. I do it because I really want to help some men out. Listen, I know in my videos I say, listen, I want to help out young men, but I'm going to keep it a buck. If you're in your 30s, if you're in your 40s, if you're in your 50s and you come across my channel, yo, salute. Salute. I respect the fact that, yo, some guys who are older than me can watch my content and listen to my content and say, yo, thank you, bro. You're wise for your age. Thank you, bro. You saying something that took me a long time to figure out. It's because like I mentioned in one of my previous videos, bro, I was shy as a kid. So what it did throughout my childhood, right up until I became a teenager, was when I really grew out of my shell. But as a child, bro, I was very observant. That kind of skill I picked up on learning how to just read people and read, not just people, but just read a room, read the situation. I'm like, man, listen, that's all I've been using to just guide me through this life, right? I know and understand when I'm not wanted. I know and I understand where I don't belong, right? I always felt like when I was with a black woman, and this is a personal, right? This is personal. I always felt like when I was with a black woman, she did not really want me, but she felt, I guess, felt bad for me. She felt some kind of pity for me. She felt like, oh, listen, I'm doing you a favor. Even though I'm like, yo, listen, we are equally yoked. If not equally yoked, shorty, I'm above you. But I can tell because, listen, I mentioned before, it's that pattern recognition. They talk about how they can read you. Well, guess what I've been doing my whole life, black men? I've been studying them. Right off the stoop, I've been studying them, black men. I've been analyzing. And again, I've learned how to critically think. I got this shit down to a science. Right? Now, in that video clip you guys watched, right? It's not just what I see online. I remember somebody told me in my comments, yo, you need to go outside and touch grass. Trust me, I'm touching plenty of grass. I'm touching plenty of grass. Trust me. And I sit down and think to myself, when I step outside and I do see black men with Amanda, I see black men with Caitlin, aka Ling Ling. I see black men with Maria, Esmeralda, Kate, right? Yadaris. Yo, I see the Latina. I see black men with these women all the time. And guess what I see these men doing? Smiling from ear to ear, showing all 32 teeth like the Joker. Smiling from ear to ear like the Kool-Aid man. And then I think back, I'm like, man, listen, I was in Atlanta at one point, right? That's a city where the population of black people is high, aka Black Hollywood, right? Black people think that moving down to Atlanta will solve all their problems. And I'm pretty sure when they get down there, they run into a whole new set of problems, right? I remember hearing for a while the ratio of black men to black women in Atlanta is 1 to 18 or 1 to 20, how black men have all these options. But somehow, for a city where they claim black men to have all these options, what I saw were black men walking around with black women holding his head down, counting the cracks in the sidewalk, counting his footsteps, black men. If he was walking with the black woman, she was walking 10 steps in front of him. And he's walking with his head down, black men. I've never seen a city where so many black men walk around in despair. So many black men are just defeated. Just defeated, yo. And even within that city, you know how many times I came across a black man who said, listen, I'm done. You know what? Something just popped in my head. I would never forget one day I'm hanging out with Akeisha, and she told me a story. And when Keisha tell you stories, black men, they always try to make it seem like she wasn't involved, right? But Keisha, you was a part of it. You was playing along. You was forget playing along. You were enjoying every moment of it. That's why you're telling me the story, because you're reliving it in that very moment, black man. I would never forget. And I thought to myself, I'm like, why is she telling me this? But forget why. She told me how her and her best friend, I guess the best friend was being cheated on, or she wanted to cheat on her boyfriend, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it was, black man. I'm not even making this up. She was cheating on her boyfriend, or she wanted to, right? Again, because based off how the girl told me the story, the boyfriend was a good guy, right? He's not problematic. He doesn't bring drama, right? He's not out there running the streets. He's a good dude, responsible dude, respectful dude, hardworking dude. But that kind of stuff doesn't make Keisha's panties wet, right? What Trey Songz said, yo, this the panty dropper. Yo, that doesn't make a black woman want to fuck you. That doesn't make her pussy wet, right? Being respectful, having all those positive traits about yourself, being a net positive for society, all that does is make Keisha want to disrespect you and go and find a new nigga to be with, right? She told me how, listen, her best friend went on Tinder and specifically looked for a tall, dreadhead thug. That's exactly how she described the guy to me. I'm like, what is it about that archetype of man? Now, again, in the moment, see, like I told you, black men, listen, I could be 007, James Bond, the Born Ultimate. I'm the black version, right? I'm good, black men. When I tell you guys I'm good under pressure around black women, I'm good. I don't judge them. I don't screw up my face. I don't make, uh uh remarks that's gonna make them stop telling the story, black man. I make them feel comfortable around me. Like I said, as a kid, I was shy. I didn't talk much, right? That's just how black women wanted me to be. That's just how black women want most of us to be, right? Because either you talk too much and you don't know anything, or you don't say too much but you know what's going on. And guys like myself, they know I know what's going on, because when you have that much time to not run your mouth and just sit back and observe. Black man, like I said, I was very observant, and that shit is it stick with me my whole life. I'm observant, and like Keisha, I'm sorry, unlike Keisha, I don't have selective hearing, black man. I hear very well. I have very good memory, black man. This is why I can tell you guys so many stories, because I was always listening, black man. I was never the kind of kid in a classroom that you have to repeat instructions to a bunch of times, because my auditorial skills, right? I'm a very good listener, black man. I can listen. I'm sorry, I can learn with the visual, but all you got to do is tell me what to do. I can do it. I can do it. Trust me, black man. So Keisha told me how her best friend went on Tinder looking for a tall, dreadhead thug, and she found one. And guess what she did? She set up a two-man mission. The Keisha who was telling me the story went with her friend to that guy house. Guess what? The friend was getting fucked in the bedroom. She was getting fucked on the couch. Now she told me how she wasn't getting smashed. That's not how Keisha's work. That's not how Keisha operate. Keisha isn't going to go to a guy house and get smashed, and her friend doesn't get smashed. Any guy who knows what I'm talking about, if you ever go on a two-man mission, that's not how they play out. Maybe sometimes, but it plays out like that more so from the guy's perspective. When you set up as the men, when the guys set up the two-man mission, yo, sometimes maybe even 50%, again, based off how black women force things to be, right? The rigged game. Yo, you asking your mans, bro, can you take one for the team? Yo, you know I'm not lying, son. Yo, some of us as black men, yo, we real friends, bro. We done really took one for the homies so he can go and, do his thing with a higher tier shorty, right? We done really took one for the team. You know I'm not lying. That's how you know my stories are real, black man. That's how you know I'm keeping a buck with you guys, right? Salute to my homies, yo. We done all took one for the team at least once. At least once, yo. But when they set up the two-man mission, it's not the same way. If she's getting fucked, the friend is getting fucked. So this Keisha's telling me how, listen, they're getting smashed by these thug dudes. I'm like, why? Why? Like, what's with that thug archetype? I just don't understand it. And I told you guys in the previous video, right? When I asked or I'm sorry, was it this video where I mentioned it? I tell so many stories, yo. But when I told you guys, I asked the Mexican, yo, what kind of black dudes do you see with non-black women, and the black dudes that you see with black women? And when he described it, I thought to myself, well, listen, if he can see it, you don't think white men can see it? You don't think Asian men can see it? Hold on, even better, you don't think, you don't think white women can see it? You don't think Latinas can see it? You don't think Asian women can see it? They can all see it, black men. So in the video clip I showed you guys, you see that first black man with the Asian girl? I can't tell what she is. Maybe Central Asian, maybe East Asian. Yo, a regular guy, right? Probably not covered in tattoos. Flat top, right? Just a regular guy on a date with an Asian girl. And black men, first of all, when I see these kind of videos, I only see them from black men and non-black women. Think about this, yo. Keep it a buck. When you go online, do you see black men making these collage type videos, these date type videos with black women? Even the quote unquote thug niggas they date. Do you see those black Keishas making these videos with these dudes, yo? Keep it a buck. You don't even see them make the kind of videos like this with the guys who they actually want. So for the guy who she think she is settling for a fact, she's not making the kind of videos with him, yo. And again, look at the second clip. Black man with an Asian woman again, showing all 32 teeth, black man, flying in from America to Japan. Yo, shorty right there with the camera recording him. Out on dates, showing him around the city. Again, you don't ever see black men that damn happy with black women. And I told you guys, at one point I lived in Atlanta, a city where the population of black people are high. I did not see black men walking around with black women smiling. You know how many black men told me, he said, yo, fuck my baby mom. I'm tired of her, yo. I'm tired of dating black women. You know how many black men told me that? Yo, the reason why I'm thinking, right? Because my numbers don't reflect it, but I'm telling you, black men, if you're not listening to my content, you're listening to somebody's content, because the amount of black men who came up to me and told me, yo, I'm done dating black women, without me having to start this conversation, without me having to talk about it, yo, I know for a fact I be sparking the bulb in somebody, bro. I know for a fact I be making that light bulb light up. I know for a fact I make you think otherwise. Just let me talk. Because the way how I can break things down, the way how I can analyze it, yo, black man, I've been hearing this stuff. I've told you guys, I've gone through Keisha's cell phone before. I've seen stuff. I've read conversations, right? I've gone through galleries, right? I've seen it, black men. I've heard it. I've seen it and I've heard it. I'm like, yo, come on. You can't be serious, yo. And black man, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, yo. Like I said, black man, when I make this content, I really want you brothers to broaden your horizon when I make this content. I really want you guys to, yo, stop limiting yourself. Stop shortcutting yourself, black men. Thinking, yo, black women are the end all be all. I told you guys in my one video, if you really want to be with a black woman, yeah, probably your best bet is Africa. And if you can't have full control, you might as well leave it alone, black men. If you can't make her take off that weave, if you can't make her take off that wig, right? Yo, leave it alone. If you can't, I mean, at least in Africa, based off of what I've seen, not from actually stepping foot on the continent, but just from, over the years meeting black women in America who are born and raised from Africa, right? I'm like fresh off the plane from the continent, right? The ones who I at least follow on Instagram, at least you can get the physical, right? I can say for the most part, based off of my experiences with continental African women and from what I've seen on Instagram and even the kind of attention I get from African chicks on Instagram, you don't have to lower your standard in the physicality area, right? Same way how I see, compared to how I see black men in America having to lower their standard for an unattractive, fat, single mom that don't even treat you good. That's the thing, yo. At least when it comes to like African chicks, right? At least you can at least get the physical. Like I said, I've seen so many black men get treated bad. Get treated bad by low quality. So many black men mind is so effed up. Again, I talk about how it's like being kidnapped. I remember this one episode of Criminal Minds, right? I think it was definitely a season 5, right? what's the dude named Reed? That the white boy. In one episode, he was kidnapped, right? And for about 3 episodes, he was being held hostage, right? And his kidnapper, right, was injecting him with, I think, meth. I think it was meth or like heroin. And Reed was becoming addicted to that crap, right? And after a while, he was torturing him, injecting meth into his body or heroin into his body. Reed became comfortable with his situation, right? Because the drug had him so warped. Black men, that's how they do you, right? The pussy is the drug. They know you want that drug. They know you want your next hit. You're fiending for it. You'll do anything for it. Anything to the point to where you'll accept disrespect. Not only accept disrespect, but you'll accept disrespect from an unattractive, fat, single mom. That's pretty much the bottom. That's black men being kidnapped by black women and she's holding you hostage. And to keep you in place, guess what? We'll give you your choice of drug, aka pussy, right? But you're already hooked. Again, I talked about being starved out. You cannot tell me my content isn't full circle, black men. They know you want pussy, but they know that most of you black men, you're too afraid to step out. You're too afraid to date somebody who doesn't look like them, black men. They trained you well. They've trained you well, black men. Keep it a buck. Like I said, man, I make this content to help you brothers out. And as you saw from that last clip, right? Because let me go ahead and wrap it up. Black dude with his she had to be white, right? That girl looked white for sure. Black man with his white girlfriend on a trip, right? I think they were in Spain or wherever they were at, right? Overseas. So black men, how many of you guys are traveling anywhere? How many of you guys are traveling anywhere with your black woman? Again, like I said, making these date type videos, thriller type videos. See, the few times I do see it in America with black men and black women, look at the archetype. I'm telling you guys something. If you pay attention to the archetype, it all makes sense. The fact that everybody else can see it, but yet black men, I think you guys want to ignore it. You're so hooked on, oh, I want a black woman. Oh, I love black women, but you're not even getting what you want. You can lie, like I said, you can lie to me. You can't lie to yourself, yo. What you're getting is Arby's roast beef special. What you want, number 1 or you want number 9? You want number 7 or you want number 2? You want number 4 or you want number 6? I'm stupid, yo. Yeah, I'm stupid, yo. But anyways, black men, I'm out. Peace.